Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I think we'll probably get underway now because I'm not sure if we have actually have a chair for this session. I think it's self-chairing, so I'll get on. And Ali Jafari, what we'll probably do is we'll it's on the schedule. It sort of says that there's my presentation and Ali's second, and then there's question and answers. But what I suggest we do is perhaps I'll do my piece and take some questions, and then Ali, as soon as he comes, he can do his piece and take questions as well. So, okay, so I'll move on. So 21st century project management equals open source body of knowledge. And that's my attempt at tying in with the theme of the conference, the Indiana Jones theme. Okay, like any good action movie, my opening scene is the tail end of the last movie. So yesterday I ran a workshop called Vive la Boc Revolution, where we conspired in a pseudo coffee house to undermine the current state of project management. We discussed and debated how a politicized view of the project dominates the project management body of knowledge and drives behavior which is neither helpful to the project or us as managers. We discussed the problems with the definition of a project, and we found that not all of us experience projects in the same way. When aspects of project work become burdened with uncertainty, we are told to call them complex projects, and we found that there are even more problems with doing this. This cultural environment in which we live, that's consumed by projects, I call Projectistan. That means the land of project, the land of the project. And in Projectistan, our options for understanding project work and for managing it is deprived of a richness of solutions and approaches. So, this paper begins by pointing out our current 19th century behavior and challenges us to rethink project management in the light of evolutionary principles. It looks at how we are built for and drawn to project management and how various pressures have driven us from a domain to a professional discipline. Finally, we come to the matter of attempting to solve our project management problems by democratizing project management excuse me, and enabling it to be domain specific through an open source structure. So the ideals of the Reformation and the Enlightenment still influence the values of modern project management. In the 19th century, evolution was seen as potential and regarded to be the unfolding of a predestined outcome. Today, modern project management still takes this predestined, follow the Gantt chart approach to work. Now, with their origins rooted in the late 19th century, the eugenicists of the 1920s took their Better Baby and Fitter Family contests to country fairs to promote the biological and social traits that they believed should be endorsed and allowed to progress. Today, in a similar manner, almost every project management professional association presents their awards for Best Project Manager and Best Project. At our annual conferences, there's one here this afternoon, and these activities implicitly and explicitly endorse particular behavioral traits and pressure practitioners to conform. Since the 19th century, the goals of professional associations have been to monopolize their authority, bestow privileges on their membership, assert their legitimacy to certify a skill or intellectual knowledge base, and expand their boundaries into the domains claimed by other professions or occupations. Today, one might conclude by observing the behaviors of the various project management professional associations that not much has changed. Now, even the 19th century myth of the primitive society has surfaced in the debate of complex project manager versus non-complex project manager, where, as we discussed yesterday, the former have greater privileges than the latter. We need to move beyond this 19th century way of viewing and rewarding project work to a way of viewing project management as a process of cultural change, where change in the work realm can be re-engineered through project management. So in this paper, I set out an argument that proposes a new philosophy for 21st century project management that's founded on the principle that its body of knowledge, its BOK, is open source and domain focused. So a little bit on the background of how we get to this, or how I get to this sort of idea. Modern project management has developed in a way that it has for various reasons. Principally among them is that some of its practices, its tools and techniques are easier to replicate, copy and pass on than others. Some create a cultural advantage, secure your jobs, secure contracts for both individuals and corporations. And some create an emotional affect, that is, they produce a feeling of being challenged, being organized, or being in control, which project managers and their managers find appealing. I believe we have two matters we should be concerned about. That project management still teaches us to view and reward project work in a 19th century way, and that the present project management bodies of knowledge are evolving in a particularly dominant manner that's unchecked, and this has significant consequences to our work, our organization, and us as individuals. Both these matters provide a platform from which to mount an argument for a fundamental rethink on how we build our evidence-based knowledge of project management. So rethinking project management in the light of evolution. Now, in a sense, we humans are literally built by various methods of selection to manage project work. To add to this complexity, some of us are drawn to the various experiences involved in managing a project. Furthermore, the particular techniques, practices and artifacts which could be associated with project management today do not remain in use because of their work production, not only for their work production capabilities. Some remain in use because they are easy to replicate and quick to explain. Some because their use can create a cultural survival advantage for individuals and organizations. And some because they enable those who are exposed to them to obtain a physiological fix. To complicate matters further, in their quest to develop a professional discipline, the project management professional associations have canonized these techniques, practices and artifacts and put them in their various box, their bodies of knowledge. And there they remain, their legitimacy unchallenged and their doctrine imposed on all who wish to manage a project. Excuse me. Built for project management. Animals, and I include us in this, are inextricable from the artifacts they produce. On the left, a dam built by beavers. On the right, a dam built by humans. Now, just as the log dam is an extension of the beaver, as the dam, its structure is encoded in the beaver's genes, so too the modern dam is an extension of humans, as the dam is encoded across our genes and our culture. We humans, given certain environmental and geographical circumstances, have a propensity to build. Our culture, values, ideals, and technology powerfully influence the nature of what we create and build and the manner or methods we adopt to perform those tasks. Modern project management is, as I've previously argued in various papers, a product of a Western cultural value system and ideals, built on top of a predisposition to create and build. Drawn to project management. So, Project managers from various domains of work appear to be drawn to aspects of project management. This is what I found by my research. Not only do they find enjoyment in some part of their role as the project manager, but they actually seek out or forage for project work because they receive a physiological fix from it. But what about the BOC? What about the question of what drives BOC, that is body of knowledge creation, in project management? On this matter, Pete Morris, Lynn Crawford, Damien Hodgson, Mike Shepard and Janice Thomas, in a paper called Exploring the Role of Formal Bodies of Knowledge in Defining a Profession, the Case of Project Management, they argue that the various bodies of knowledge play a supplementary role in promoting the field, and that all of project management professional associations, consultants, gurus, consumers, those who buy into project management services such as consulting, training, standards and certifications, and academics and researchers all have a self-serving vested interest in creating and maintaining a body of knowledge for project management.